feel that in-store special events or experiences will be able to happen, or in smaller, intimate gatherings? Is that kind of where things are going to shift?
Yeah, I interviewed, and I talked to a lot of my clients recently. Look, what are we going to do? What's going on? Because right now, nothing's happening. There's no
Mm-hmm.
luxury event right now.
Yeah.
In May, none of my clients had put together any luxury event, and none of them are going to happen in June either. And nobody knows when they're going to happen. So, but yeah, to go back to that comment, it's a good one. I think everybody agrees that the gathering will be smaller. Usually, I was advising a client when you do not an in-store event, because we don't do a lot of in-store events. They are like too small for us to get involved. But when we do event for launch of a product, usually we advise about 300 people. That's a magic number. All the way to 300, if you're the global CEO of a brand, you can come and most likely have the time at least to say hello and welcome everybody in the room at one point. Right now, we're speaking 50, 50. So
Wow.
that's a big change. And we're speaking obviously local events versus global events or international events, because people don't want to travel anymore, don't have either the ability, the rights, or are just scared or anxious to travel. So we're going to go to more local events. More local event means also more retail events,
Mm-hmm.
more in-store events.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you had one event, let's say Miami for the entire US, and now you're going to split it in, let's say, 5 or 6 different markets, the big markets. So California is one, New York is one, obviously, South Florida is one. You might divide it in a couple stores. You're not going to rent a venue every time
Right.
to do the event, and you want to make sure that the environment for the event is maybe more controlled, because we're not going to have the event planner of the brand being able to fly to all those places at the same time. So I think it's going to be smaller for sure. It's going to be more local, but I think it's going to bring maybe an additional clientele, because
Mm-hmm.
we used to have, I think it's going to bring more people, potentially new consumers to those events where they were not invited before, to the large one, to the national, to the global one. But now, if you're a local one, if you are client number 26 at the retail store in Miami Beach, you will never be invited to the global event because it was only the top 2 or 3,
Right.
maximum. But if you are, top 26 Miami Beach client on that specific luxury retail store, they will invite you to the next event at the store. They want to keep it under 50 and they want to have you and welcome you. I
Mm-hmm.
think we're going to have potentially longer event that we used to have. It was all about the magic of gathering the crowd so they're all together and enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Instead of doing a 3-hour event, which is usually the length that we do, 3 to 4 hours max, we
Mm-hmm.
may want to do more hours. We may want to be open for an entire day, like 6-7 hours, and people will come, but everybody will come at a different time, which will give opportunities for physical distancing,
Right. Right.
opportunities to have more intimate conversation. So this is a lot of adaptation. Nobody knows when that's going to really
Mm-hmm.
happen, and
Yeah.
nobody really knows how. And as I said again, as I was explaining the new experience for a retail store with the hand sanitizer, the mask, the distancing, we're going to have the same issue with events. And it is not sexy.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to try to do the best. But I'm pretty sure that when the vaccine is found, let's speak perspective 2022, which is not really far from now, in
Yeah.
18 months from now, I hope that we will go back to those, interesting gathering where it's all about focusing on the brand and the meaning of the event and make it memorable. And what is memorable is not the mask and the hand sanitizer, but it's the product
Yeah.
that we're trying to sell or the service. And I don't know, maybe people, as they were already doing, will go towards more experiences than products. So that's, could also reshape a little bit our event industry in a way.